Hi, welcome back. In our last section, we looked at how to give your Voki a voice. And in this section, we're going to look at backgrounds in players. So what our next step is to go in to look at backgrounds. As you can see, my Ben Franklin is hanging out in the city. Well, Ben Franklin might not want to be in the city, and it might not be appropriate for him to hang out in a modern city because he's a historical figure. So when I click on backgrounds, I get the option of picking one that actually was already in Voki. So maybe I'm going to want to look at the indoors category and see if there's anything that fit what I'm looking for. I don't know that Ben Franklin needs to be in the kitchen, so I might have to really search for something that's going to be appropriate to what this project is. Now the good news is, if you can't find anything appropriate for our historical figure project, Voki also lets you use your own background. So if you had a file on your computer, you could browse for that picture file to put it in the background of your Voki. Now after you browsed for that picture, you would then upload your picture. And as you can see, now Ben Franklin is hanging out with an eye touch. Now I don't know that that's really appropriate for our historical project either, but you can see that just by browsing for the file and uploading it, I now can create my own customized background for my Voki. Since this one doesn't quite fit with our historical figure, I might go back to backgrounds and I might keep looking. Now it's up to your teacher whether or not he or she wants you to go in and create your own background, or whether he or she wants you to go in and find one that would be appropriate to your picture. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and click Done. The next step is to look at the players. As you can see, Ben has been hanging out in this red player, and even though the player isn't super important to my project, it's important for you guys to know what one is. I actually like this player that I just selected because I can see more of Ben Franklin and less of the player. You only get a few choices here, so you shouldn't spend a whole lot of time on your player, but it does give your avatar a frame. Alright, once you have your Voki looking and sounding the way you like him, you can go into the Publish option. The first step is to name your project. Okay. And once you've named your project, you hit Enter, and it saves your project. Now you have a choice. You can either email your Voki to someone, like your teacher or like your parent or whoever your teacher's asked you to send your Voki to via email. And if you want to do that, you have to put in your name and your friend's email, and you want to maybe put in a subject and a message here as well. If you decide that you don't want to email, you can also add this Voki to your site. And adding your Voki to your site means that you're going to embed this avatar onto a Google site or onto a blog. Now, all web pages have back-end code, and that back-end code is called HTML code. And if you noticed under here where it says embed code, you're seeing some things that look like gobbledygook. Well, that's HTML code for your Voki. So this is the back-end code that allows your avatar to shake its head at you and to look around and to talk. And so we're going to go ahead and hit the copy button so that we can copy the embed code and paste it into another site. You can also grab a Voki link. That Voki link would just be right here. So you notice that you could actually just grab the link so that you can